G'day guys, welcome to my Rxys V2 video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about top 10 best stadiums in the NRL for 2020 guys, so let's get started. So coming in at number 1 we see Central Coast Stadium. Now a lot of these teams, a couple of matches have been played, which is the A League, but we're not going to talk about that. But a couple of the games are NRL games, which is like 2 games of NRL played there before. It's one of the most best matches I've ever been to, and really I like how the way the angle is, because how the way it actually is, it's just brings to my attention that how the way this stadium is, it's absolutely chilled. There's no over hills, there's no going up, and there's no like going up as in like actual going up. There is only like things like how the way things are. But I just think how the way this like is really, from my like thinking of how the way this is, I reckon it's one of the most great stadiums and the best stadiums like in Australia anyway. But what I can say is also, I reckon they are the most great stadiums in this country. Is one of the most good stadiums. You have to have that most contribution, resource, everything that you need to basically fill this way into an absolute great stadium. But really, this stadium, Central Coast Stadium, is one of the most best stadiums I've ever been to. I basically am 10 minutes from it. So what I can say is though, this stadium can be an absolute great stadium, and it absolutely is. So I'm definitely going to rate this one a 10 out of 10, and I think this stadium can be one of the most great stadiums in the history in the comp. But really what I can say is also, this stadium can be one of the most great stadiums in the comp, and it actually is in my opinion. But really I like this stadium, and yeah, for the whole of NRL, the A League, lots more still to come anyway. But really what I can say is though, I reckon the stadium can definitely fill for NRL and Hyundai A League anyway. But really it's a great resource to have for sporting grounds, and yeah, what a great thing it is for an actual stadium, for the Central Coast Stadium anyway. Coming in at number 2, we see the SCG, Sydney Cricket Ground. And really what I can say about this one is, I just recommend how the way this thing is absolutely great for this stadium. And how the way Roosters are the most good team in the comp, but how the way like cricket, Hyundai A League, you got like Sydney Roosters play, what else? Like you got Sydney Sixers play there. Like really, I just think how the way this stadium is, it's brought to my attention, and it's absolutely one of the most great stadiums I think. And really what I can say about this one is just the resource, how the way this is, and it's absolutely freakish, because how the way this stadium brought to my attention is, I think how the most great stadiums in the whole of history, I reckon it's this stadium, because how the way the entertainment is, how the way it brought to my attention, I like this stadium. And yeah, great stadium. This is for like Sydney Sixers playing for like the cricket, like the Big Bash League. You got like Sydney FC, sometimes they play there. I might not think they do, they probably play somewhere else, but I'm not too sure about that. But then you got like Sydney Roosters play for the NRL. Who else? Like you got like the one dayers, like the Australia cricket, obviously for the Australian team. But really what I can say about this one is, great stadium for this one. I really like this one. I really enjoy this stadium, because I haven't been to the stadium though. I would like to go and see it, and I would love it, but I just recommend going to the stadium is an absolute great idea. It's just one of the most great things to be doing and a good day out in a sunny day. But really, what I can say about this one is, great stadium it is, and yeah, I like it. Coming in at number 3, we see the Amy Park, Melbourne Storm's home ground. I really think that this one though is a great stadium for a great football game. And really what I can say about this one is Melbourne Storm play at Amy Park as usual. But then you got like Melbourne City, Melbourne Victory. You got like, I think you got like only 3 though, but it's just a matter of how the way they actually play the football and how the way they intake it and stuff like that. But really what I can say is about this one, I just think how the way this brought to my attention is like how the way that Melbourne Storm play there, you got like Melbourne City play there, Melbourne Victory, all these teams absolutely are a very good like team, and really each of them are so superb. Really, I just think how the way the stadium is also brings to my attention again, because how the way this is an absolute gobsmacking stadium. I love it because it just gives me an absolute like information, like how idea, like how the way this is, because I like it. But then I'm gonna give this one though a 7 out of 10. I reckon how the way this is though, it absolutely brings to my attention and I love it. But how the way Melbourne Storm play is absolutely good. How the way Melbourne City play, and also like Melbourne Victory, because they all like are the afternoons and the night games, and probably maybe to like the mornings I'd say, but not really. But what I can say also is I love this stadium, great stadium, and I just really hope that it definitely stays this way, because how the way it is and how the way this is brought into it, hopefully they don't change it, hopefully they don't upgrade it, but they probably might do like in the future. But yeah, absolutely great stadium and I love it. Coming in at number 4, we see Netstrata Jubilee Stadium, for the Dragons' home ground anyway, and for the Sydney FC's home ground. And I can definitely think that if this match can be like one of the most great matches though for like Sydney FC to play there, and also for the Dragons, they absolutely are one of the most huge teams. But another thing also too that brought to my attention is for the Cronulla Sharks that are going to move there to play, because only their stadium's having their upgrade stadium, which there is bringing to my attention. And I just think how the way this stadium is going to be brought in, and it's absolutely going to be amazing. It's going to be huge, and I think Cronulla Sharks are definitely going to have this massive impact, and definitely going to have the atmosphere changing a little bit because how the way this is. But for the Dragons though, how the way this is and how the way it actually really is for a couple of these changes and everything like that, I recommend, like for the sporting grounds, this stadium is an absolutely entertaining stadium and I like it. How the way this is, and like how the way Sydney FC play there, it's absolutely like one of the most horrendous, like how the way this is. And it brings to my attention that Sydney FC can sometimes play there, but then they play like at I'd say Sydney Cricket Ground, but I'm not too sure about that. But how the way it is, how the way it actually is, I like it. Hopefully they don't upgrade it, but they probably would in the future. But yeah, I like it. It brings to my attention that I'm going to give it, this one, a 9 out of 10 for this one. But really for a fact is, I like this stadium. And yeah, this stadium is one of the most best stadiums in the NRL anyway. Coming in at number 5, we see Cowboys Stadium, the new stadium for the Cowboys. I just think how the way this is, it brings to my attention, and this atmosphere is going to be absolutely great, because The new stadium's absolutely going to be big, huge, and it's like Bankwest Stadium anyway. It looks like it, but it is a bit bigger. I just think how the way it is, and it's just bring to my attention, it's just absolutely amazing how the way like some other stadiums are just not going to be upgraded or something like that, like rebuild or renovated anyway. But really what I can say about this one, I like it. It's basically pretty good to see this stadium brought to my attention, and really for a fact is Entertain House has basically talked about this one anyway for the Cowboys review. Go check out his videos. I'm definitely going to say he definitely needs support because he only has 2 copyright strikes, and if he gets another one, he's screwed. But definitely go check out his videos. Definitely go subscribe to his videos. I have too, but he's one of my best mates anyway, and shout out to him anyway. But I'm not going to talk about that one, we're going to talk about this one. But really for a fact is, Cowboys are one of the most good teams in the comp, but sometimes they do struggle a little bit with players, like injuries, salary caps, and stuff like that. But really for a fact is, I like the stadium, and it's really big, very new. Atmosphere is probably going to be absolutely great. I recommend probably 10,000 people. I definitely recommend like going over there, or probably below that, but I hate to think that it's going to be probably packed for their couple of games anyway. But really for a fact is, I like this stadium. I'm definitely going to go with an 8 out of 10 for this one, and yeah, I love it. Coming in at number 6, we see Suncorp Stadium for Brisbane Broncos home ground. Now, what I can say about this one, it's fairly big. I like this one. This is absolutely one of the most huge stadiums in Australia. But really for a fact is, I like this stadium and it's absolutely great. I'm going to rate it for my top 10s best stadiums in the NRL anyway, but I already am. But really for a fact is, Brisbane Broncos have played a lot of matches in that stadium, and I like it. But also for a fact is, Brisbane Roar is Suncorp Stadium's home ground for their club also too, for the Hyundai A-League. But really for a fact is also, I like this stadium. I've been to the stadium before where the Parramatta Eels played the Melbourne Storm, and lots of other teams played there too for the triple header and the Magic Round. So what I can say about this one too is, I like this stadium. It's fairly new, like it's fairly brand new. It's not like new, but it is basically brand new. I like it. It's basically pretty good. But how the way this is though, I like it. And how the way like the atmosphere, crowdness, like probably like 10,000 or more are going to be packed into that stadium with like Brisbane Roar playing. You got like Brisbane Broncos play there, and then you obviously got like a couple other teams that, which my prediction is, I like it, and hopefully it doesn't get like renovated anyway, because it is one of the most big stadiums in the NRL and also in Australia. But really for a fact is, I love this stadium and it's very, very amazing. Coming in at number 7, we see GIO Stadium for Canberra Raiders and the Canberra Brumbies anyway. I think that's it anyway, but yeah, okay. So what I can say about that one is, I recommend this stadium is an absolutely great stadium. Rarely like average stadium that I love and I really like. But for this stadium though, I really like this stadium, and how the way it's absolutely brought into my attention that it's absolutely going to be one of the most cold, calm and collected. But really for a fact is, I like it, and this is absolutely one of the most great stadiums in the NRL that I really like. But one of my attention is I like it. It's very cool, and how the way the crowd and atmosphere goes onto that stadium is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. It's absolutely great. Go check it out if you want to. Like, if you do live down in Canberra anyway, it's fairly amazing. I love it. It's absolutely one of the most great stadiums in the NRL. I really like it. But how the way it is for the Brumbies playing there, you got Raiders, but I think it's only for two of those teams that basically play at GIO Stadium anyway. But really what I can say about this one is Canberra is very cold, but GIO Stadium gets very rugged up, and I like it. It's fairly average, and you got the best seats in the house anyway for one of the most great coaches and players that basically have one of the most great supporting players and staff there anyway. But really for a fact is, I love this stadium, and this stadium is absolutely average and amazing. Coming in at number 8, we see Leichhardt Oval for West Tigers home ground. I just think how the way this is absolutely amazing. I like it. It's fairly small though. I just think how the way this is, it's absolutely amazing how the way this changes a bit. But Leichhardt Oval is fairly small, and I really like this one. It's fairly interesting, and I fairly not have negative comments about it, but I really like this one, and I just give this one probably a 7 out of 10 because it's average. It's not really entertaining. I like it though. It's absolutely one of the most huge stadiums that I really like for the West Tigers that absolutely play there for their games anyway. But really what I can say about this one is I like it. It's fairly interesting that how the way sometimes some other teams, some other clubs, you got rugby union and all that type of things, they play there, and also under 20s that play there too. But also for this one is couple of issues with it is how the way it's very small, and it's just not interesting, but how the way it's fairly packed. It's going to bring a lot of attention to see the entertainment of football anyway, and it's really going to be full on with so many fans going to be supporting the West Tigers anyway. But really for a fact is I like this stadium, absolutely brand new for a couple of years, and I really like it, and it's just really odd to see how small it is, how the way it is. But yeah, one of the most good stadiums in the NRL, and one of the best stadiums in the NRL. Coming in at number 9, we see Campbelltown Stadium for the West Tigers home ground. Now, what I can say about this one is I just think for this one, the West Tigers usually play there, and then you got a couple of them, sometimes they just don't play there, they just play somewhere else. But usually you get 5 games playing over there, and then you got Dragons, they play sometimes there too. But what I can say about this game is absolutely one of the most great stadiums in the NRL. I really like this one. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10, and I really like it. It's fairly brand new. I don't know, basically like this stadium because it's very interesting. They have lots of crowds that can basically have an impact on it, and it's basically very much interesting to see so much of other types of things going into this type of stadium. I really like it though. It's fairly great, and I'm really interested in it. But for a fact is, I really like this stadium. Hopefully they don't mess it up, or hopefully they don't upgrade it or anything like that, because I really like this stadium. Hopefully if they do upgrade it or renovate it, hopefully they can breach it into another stadium, which can be called like Campbelltown Stadium, but I recommend like probably calling like a different name, but then getting into a different point of view. But really, for a fact is, I like this stadium. It's absolutely amazing. For Dragons and the Tigers playing there, it's fairly like contacting sport for the NRL, and I really like it. So yeah, a huge impact that I like is definitely the Campbelltown Stadium anyway. And last but certainly not least, coming in at number 10, my favourite stadium in the NRL, WIN Stadium in Wollongong, for the Dragons' home ground. Okay, so really for a fact is, I like this stadium. It's very great, and how the way this basically brings in my attention is how the way Dragons play their football is absolutely like great, and how the way there's a beach that basically is next to that stadium, and it's absolutely amazing. But really for the atmosphere is absolutely incredible. How the way they have like so many like tunnels and all that stuff that where players come out and everything like that. But really for a fact is, I like this stadium. How the way this stadium is bringing to my attention is I really like it, and plus how the way so many things like happening for different types of other things, I really like it. But how the way this stadium is bringing to my attention is, I'm going to give this one for a rate a 10 out of 10 for this one. I really like this one. This is my favourite stadium in the NRL, and I really like it because how the way the atmosphere, how the way the stadium is, it's fairly like not high up all the time. Sometimes people go higher up, but to watch like different types of games, I really like how the way it is. It's basically interesting. Go check it out. It's basically in Wollongong anyway, but really for a fact is, I like it. But then how the way sometimes it can basically breach the like other things too. It's not going to be definitely right, but brings to my attention that I really like it, and how the way this interesting stadium is basically a huge stadium that is my favourite stadium in the NRL anyway. But really, I like this one anyway, and I love it. Thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. I will be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you also guys soon. So stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys in my next video. So please like and subscribe for my YouTube channel and for this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, take care, stay safe, and have a good one, guys.